last week when I reached out to you, I was pretty convinced out of the gate that this was for Zach Wilson. I
Me
couldn't
too.
see, a scenario where they traded up all the way and they didn't go for the real dude, right? And which is why I always felt that they somewhere knew what Jets were going to do and they were going to trade up to two. I could see that coming. But after I thought about it a bit more during this week, and of course listening to a lot of the stuff that happened during the week, I feel that I'm ready to lock my pick as Trey Lance. And
Oh wow! Tell
yeah,
me,
I,
tell
I
me.
think this is. I feel more and more confident that this is the pick. And first of all, shout out to Big Face Kev as well. His article, I really like that
Very interesting.
article.
Yeah,
Very
yeah,
interesting, and
yes,
also his writing style was really good. Something that I
yeah.
really
He's
liked. That
good.
was the yeah,
He's
it was
good.
a really good
Yeah,
find
yeah.
by you. Anyways, I think these are the things. What I feel is I don't think Kyle fell in love with the guy in just this past month and a half.
I agree.
I
That's a
yeah
good point.
I feel that this is something that happened last summer. I mean, imagine this dude coming out of the Super Bowl loss when his quarterback underperformed and he's frustrated and you have COVID sitting at home watching tape.
Yep.
I think Kyle watched a lot of tape last summer and he
Hmm.
fell in love with Trey Lance. That's my guess in any ways. It's just that, I mean, if you think about it, last year, who had the best tape and the best
Trey
performance?
Lance.
I would say it was Trey Lance. So
Yes.
I felt that he fell in love with him that time. He started fantasizing about him. And of course, there was no season this year. So maybe Kyle was curious to see if he would fall down a bit more. But
Hmm.
after the pro day happened, I think that was out of the window because Trey Lance pro day, he just blew the top off, right? And it became
And
very evident
Shanahan
that
said, I didn't go to that pro day because I
yeah,
didn't want to tip off my desire to find a quarterback at the time. Remember?
exactly. So I feel that it became pretty obvious he's going to be top five, and most likely Atlanta. There was a lot of rumors that Atlanta was going to pick him. I
Hmm.
feel it's that's what prompted him to get to number three because he wanted to go after Trey Lance. So that's number one.
There's another way
Number
to look at it real quick,
yeah,
though, is
yeah.
that the Niners have been fantasizing about Deshaun Watson. And
Hmm.
once that fantasy went up in smoke, they had to they had to cobble together a new fantasy real quick. And maybe they traded up to number three without really having a target in mind. Maybe this is more of a desperation move than we're willing to give him credit for.
Yeah, I don't know. With Kyle, I just find it so hard. I mean, this guy knows. I mean, he doesn't fall in love with the quarterback so fast. And I don't think this is
Hmm.
happening. Everything else is smokescreen around this. This is Kyle's guy. The guy Kyle wants to get it. That's what I feel is happening here. Uh, the second thing is, again, I know that Kyle has talked about this quite a bit in the past, right? For him, it's very important for him to be able to project a quarterback. That guy should have played in the pro style offense,
That
and
is
I
true.
feel and I feel that again, that's another reason why Trey Lance. I mean, that dude plays in as close to a pro style offense as you can. I believe. But I was watching some of the videos yesterday. They even have a fullback who wears 44. If I'm not
Yes.
mistaken. Yeah,
Yes.
it's like that's exactly the same offense. So
Yes.
for him, it's much easier to project from that style of an offense, which is another reason. And experience is one thing that against him. But I don't think Kyle cares that much about experience because he always thinks that hey, experience. Even with Jimmy, he was very patient, right? He feels that you can get the experience over a period of time, and
Mhm.
for that matter, any quarterback coming from college, it's not that hey, you might have played a few more games, but it's not that you have all the experience, right? So
Plus, what he's going to say is all these quarterbacks this year are inexperienced.
exactly. So
He's going to
I
say
think,
that. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. That's number two. And number three, what I feel is red zone offense. And I know that you have talked about this in the past as well.
Hmm.
I feel that Kyle's offense, it needs a new dimension in red zone. Now,
Yep.
there are two ways to go about this, right? One you can have these massive pass catchers the way Tampa Bay has with Mike Evans and Chris Godwin.
Right.
But I don't think Niners have any of those pass catchers. And even Kittle, he's not a big red zone threat. I think
No.
putting Trey Lance, it adds a completely new dimension to red zone and it's going to become unstoppable, the offense in the red zone. And I think that's really what Kyle wants because if you look at Kyler Murray, he ran so many designed runs in the red zone, and that was one of the reasons why their offense was explosive last year. And if you see what Sean Payton does with Taysom Hill, right? That running element of quarterback in the red zone
It's
is
huge.
so critical. It's
It's
huge.
taking over. I mean, look at Cam Newton in New England.
Yeah,
It's almost something
exactly.
you have to have.
Yeah, exactly. So
And
I
you
think,
saw Kyle try to do it a little bit with Jared McKinnon.
yeah, exactly. And I
Not
think,
funny.
yeah, these are three reasons why I feel it's Trey Lance. Now, coming to Mac Jones, I feel it's a little bit overrated that Kyle would pick somebody because that guy is the smart dude and who can
Yeah,
think through everything. Because if you think about it, Kyle is the
that's
smart
Mullins.
guy. Yeah,
Kylan, yeah.
yeah. It's again, I don't think Kyle needs like somebody who's like super smart, but he doesn't
Yeah,
want somebody. At the end of the day, he needs a guy who can execute things. I know
yeah,
that Jimmy is probably for whatever reason he seemed to be on the lower end, but I don't think he needs an elite processor because Kyle is
yeah,
doing all the thinking. He
yeah,
just needs a guy who can go and execute on the field. The
yeah.
second thing is if something breaks down, he needs the athletic talent to bail Kyle out. I mean, if you
Yeah.
think what happened to Matt Ryan in the Super Bowl. Like there was a blitz and he couldn't react because he couldn't move. And same with
Yeah.
Jimmy. So I feel that
But Trey Lance can actually like make guys. He can break tackles. He
he
does
can
it.
break tackles.
Yeah.
He needs somebody to bail him out. And also purely from a locker room perspective, I just feel that you bring in a guy with the talent, then everybody believes in that, right? I mean, you cannot bring in a rookie who's played 15 games and say like, hey, this guy is an elite processor, which is like Mac Jones,
Right.
and the rest
Right.
of the locker room would go like, what do you say?
Well, let's see about that on the practice field. And anytime he throws
Exactly.
a pick, it's like, well, Kyle, you don't know what you're talking about.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
it's not like you're bringing in Brady or Breeze, right? When you're talking about elite processor,
No,
again,
it's not
like
Mac Jones. Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
still a
Still
rookie.
Mac Jones.
Yeah,
It's still
exactly.
Mac
And
Jones.
I
Yeah.
just feel that this whole thing about Mac Jones is a smokescreen, and Kyle is going to go for the talent, the elite talent. And I strongly believe that it's going to be Trey Lance. And even if you think about Chris Sims, he says a lot of things about Justin Fields, but Trey Lance, it's always about hey, he needs more experience. He needs more experience. I
I
don't.
agree. He
Yeah,
has nothing specifically critical to say about
correct.
Trey Lance other than, yeah, he's just green. Like with Justin Fields, it's like, no, his mechanics are an issue. He doesn't pick up blitzes. He can't find a hot read. It's like blah 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 blah.
Correct.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. And if the Niners want to keep uh, Jimmy Garoppolo for a while, then they can afford to develop. My only thing with Trey Lance is I feel like best case scenario for him is he's a 3-year project like Josh Allen was. Do the Niners have that kind of time? I mean, they think they're in a Super Bowl window right now.
Yeah, I think that's true, but I think that's where Kyle comes in. I feel that he feels probably with his scheme and his coaching that he can
And the
get Trey
playmakers in
Lance
place. Yeah,
playmakers and he
fair
can
enough.
get him ready sooner. And again, he's played in that exact same offense. And the other thing I'm wondering, and I don't know whether it's true, like Trey Lance obviously had the year off. Like, do you think Mike Shanahan would have spent some time with him during that off season? Is that even possible?
We'll find out. Maybe I don't know. That'd be great
Yeah,
to know. I'd love
yeah.
to know. Yeah,
It's I don't
he was
know.
just hanging out. What was he doing?
What
He
is he
wasn't
doing?
playing football. So yeah, I wonder if the
Exactly. I
Niners.
just feel
Yeah.
that that guy is the dude that.
Also, one more thing about Trey Lance, he's huge. Like he's way bigger than he looked when he played in 2019. It looks like he's going to end up being like really really huge. He looks
Yeah,
for a 20-year-old. Wow, he could end up being like the best
correct.
athlete in the NFL. Yep.
Exactly. And
Yep.
given what Russell is, I mean, imagine Mac Jones. Like he'll still be the fourth best quarterback in the division.
Yeah. No
So
question.
another reason, like, whereas
No
if you
question.
put Trey Lance with his athletic skills, like, dude, I mean, if this guy works out, that's your. I mean, if you think about Elway, Steve Young, and all the athletic quarterbacks that the Shanahan system has, they
Yeah.
need somebody like Trey Lance. Is what I think.
Well, thank you for laying out. I mean, you and Big Face Kev have really been convincing me that that's going to be the pick. I could see it. It seems like maybe Kyle wanted Mac Jones, but isn't going to be able to sell that to the fans or to the organization. I mean, who wants McCorkle? I don't think anyone does. So if it's
Yeah,
down to Justin Fields or Trey Lance, I think he's going to go
correct.
Lance for the reasons you
I
explained.
I still think that's a big smoke screen. I cannot. I mean, again,
What's the
like
point of having the smoke screen at this point, though? So the
I
Jets don't take
I
Trey Lance?
I don't I don't know. I almost feel like you remember in the half season where every quarterback Kyle liked.
Yeah.
I feel that this is coming from somewhere else that people want to, hey, like Kyle likes, so he must be good. And maybe
Yeah.
it's the Mac Jones camp who's trying to promote this. I just
Ooh.
find it so difficult to believe because in our season, Kyle wanted every quarterback. It's like
It's
you didn't
true.
know half the things. You
You
don't know
wanted
who's
Gardner
creating.
Minshew. You wanted Sam
Yeah,
Darnold. Yep.
exactly. You don't know who's creating this, but
It's true.
I just don't see Kyle going for a non-athletic. Then where does his coaching and his scheme come into play? Right? Hey, if you cannot take an athletic guy, and
Yeah.
again, the fact that the guy's played in a pro style offense, I can very well see how Kyle will say that, hey, I can get him to where I
Yeah.
want him to be.
He fits what I want to do.